Hey everybody, it's been a few days. How is everybody doing? I hope you're well. So now we're going live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. with a new, very approachable and delicious recipe. I'm really excited to share this one with you. So let me give you a little history on this recipe and then we'll just get cranking. First, I'm going to start cutting my chicken. And I've done this on the show before, but this is kind of like an Asian dish. And for these dishes, I like the chicken to cook pretty fast. So I cut it kind of on the bias. It's almost like a fillet, as you can see, like a little piece of sushi, actually. So like that, I cut this on the bias like this. So we're making this dish today called Ketchup Chicken. Super simple. Kids love it. You know, I did Kids Day every Tuesday. I'm going to do recipes that I think are really approachable, and this one's really approachable. It's an original recipe from Mark Bittman of the New York Times. I love it. I used to make it at Heidi's house all the time. She sort of turns her nose up when I said ketchup chicken, but I actually love it. So I've adapted the recipe to suit my tastes, let's get started. Okay, so I cut this chicken on the bias. This is about 1.5 pounds of chicken. So you get quite a bit of chicken. You'll be able to serve probably 3 to 4 people with this dish. And then you need some light oil, like a vegetable oil or a canola oil. We're going to turn ourselves around. There we go. Okay. Turn ourselves around and we're going to get oil into our pan. About 2 or 3 tablespoons. Or a little less. You cover the bottom. I'm using a non-stick pan for this. And then I've got about 1.5 cups of flour in here. So I'm going to take my chicken, I'm going to toss it in here, and then I'm going to toss it with the flour and get it all covered in flour, as you can see me doing right here. And I'll leave this in the pan, or in the bowl. And then I'm going to start frying off this chicken. And I fry it in a few, it'll probably take about a couple of times to do this. I don't know, you know what? I'm going to be able to fit all this chicken in here. That's a good thing. Perfect. So you'll fry off the chicken first. And while that's frying off, we'll talk a little bit about the other ingredients that we're using on this today. Let me get all this chicken in here, cooking away. Get that turned up a bit. Okay. Turn ourselves around again with my camera. I want to say some hellos. Oh my gosh, Jeff Boards is watching. Jeff, I hope you're doing well. Dana Ellis, it's so nice to see you. Oop, I lost all the people. There they are. Bobby A.L.O., my cousin Rob, my sister Amy, Patty Bauer, Ann Goldsmith, Claire Odie. Hey, everybody. It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. So like I said, we're making this chicken. It was a Mark Bittman recipe from the New York Times called Ketchup Chicken. I really absolutely adore it. So in addition to that, I've switched up the recipe a bit. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of roasted garlic for mine. This is a spice combination. It's got cayenne, nutmeg, ginger, cardamom, and cumin in it. I'll have all of the amounts. It's about, well, I think I remember it. It's a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg is in there as well, a teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of cardamom, and a teaspoon of cumin. That's great. Then we have our ketchup. So we have about 1 cup of ketchup for the sauce, and then some salt and some pepper. Now, let's talk about rice, because I think this is an important conversation when it comes to Chinese food, especially. I make Uncle Ben's long grain rice. I love his long grain rice. It's absolutely amazing. Hold on a second. I'm gonna cook this or flip these chicken pieces a bit. They are cooking away and browning. You're gonna cook them until they're kind of a little brown on either side. They'll take probably about 5 total minutes to cook. Okay, so here's my thing about cooking rice. I have tested it a million ways, and I want to say I decided to finally just follow the directions. I'm not good at following directions. I think a number of people on here know that. Yeah, Amy. Yes, Amy, it's Heinz. But Amy, I can't follow directions. I'm just not good at it. But I follow the directions on the box. And so what I do is I take the amount of water that I needed. So it's usually 1 to 2. So let's say 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. That goes into both of those go into your pot, and I put butter in as well. Again, follow the directions on the box. Bring that to a boil and then cover it simmering for 20 minutes, and you end up getting rice that is fluffy and not sticky. It's the perfect rice for this dish. Absolutely amazing. So some people like their rice sticky. If you like your rice sticky, don't get long grain rice. Try to get a medium grain rice or a short grain rice. Short grain rice, like a Borio, which is an Italian rice, will be super creamy. A medium grain won't be as creamy. Okay, let's turn ourselves around again, back to this plate. We're doing a lot of camera switches today. Okay, this chicken is cooking up really very nicely. It's getting brown on it. Last night, my friend Jonathan made bucatini. We had been talking about bucatini all weekend long, and he was insisting that I make bucatini for customers at the market. As some of you may or may not know, we reopened the market, and I decided to try my hand at making dinners for the market. So we made a homemade pasta, a fettuccine, with shrimp and pesto and roasted cherry tomatoes. And, you know, we didn't sell a lot of it. And I don't think it's because people didn't want to try it. I just think that people thought of us as a lunch place. So I'm not going to be doing dinners at the market. We're going to be focusing on our lunches because our lunches are absolutely amazing. In fact, we just started advertising on Facebook to do catering lunchboxes again. So for companies in Sonoma County that are looking for catering, hey, we're a great resource. Okay, this is getting brown on the sides. Okay, we're going to get this into a bowl. Hold on 1 second. As I run away and grab a bowl, I'm always running away and grabbing things. Okay, so I'm going to put this in this bowl here. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to get a little more oil in this pan. Again, probably a couple of tablespoons. And this is going to allow me to cook my delicious sauce. So, my sauce consists of the roasted garlic, and I'm going to smush that down a bit just to kind of extend the life of the garlic across the entire sauce so that you're not just getting chunks, but you'll get some chunks. That's fine too. But we smush that down a bit. Pretty easy. Okay, perfect. Now we have sufficiently smushed our garlic. I'm going to add in my spice mixture. So again, this is cayenne, nutmeg, cumin, cardamom, ginger. It's a teaspoon of ginger, teaspoon of cardamom, teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of cayenne. If you don't like it super spicy, don't put as much cayenne in. That's that alternative for you. Okay, now, oh, the smell of this is absolutely incredible. I like adding these flavors to this sauce. It's getting a little smoky. Okay, now we're gonna add in our ketchup. There we go. And I actually think that I want more ketchup in here. What do you think? Who doesn't love more Heinz ketchup? Where'd my ketchup go? Uh-oh, ketchup disappeared. Ketchup, where'd you go? I can't find my ketchup. Okay, well, we're not going to put more ketchup in right now, but we're going to let this cook down. I'm going to put some of the chicken in, then you'll get to see what it looks like when it's in the pot. So, give me this. You just add the chicken back in. This is such an easy dish to make, right? I mean, and you don't have to use those spices. The Mark Bittman recipe doesn't use those spices that I used to get the chicken really nice and coated. Actually, you know what? I'm glad I didn't add more ketchup because I don't think you need more ketchup. I'm going to add all this chicken in here. You know, I think this might be one of the first times on this show where I've actually completely finished a dish. I feel like I haven't been on in a while, so I have more to talk about. But we had a wonderful weekend at the market, and I'm really excited that we're back in business and seeing faces and customers again. That makes me very happy. So thank you everyone who stopped in. Okay, look at our ketchup chicken. Oh, it smells delightful. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to give this one piece a little taste and see if it needs salt. No salt. It's absolutely perfect. It's got the perfect amount of spice. Woo! A little bit of cayenne pepper there. But this is such a delightful dish. I'm going to serve it over this great rice that I made. I told you, follow the ingredients on the box. It's the best way to do it. It'll turn out great and fluffy every time. You don't have to use butter, but I love to use butter. So anyway, everybody, John, Amy, Christine, Michael Wells. Wow, so many wonderful people watching. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon. See you next Tuesday. And this recipe and an image of the recipe is going to be up on the Big Bottom Market site very soon. Bye-bye, everyone.